I want you to get fired or something because you went on a scumbag podcast or whatever.
Nobody's gonna watch your podcast that I know. I guarantee.
Well, that may be, but
But do you still call yourself conservative?
I consider myself conservative here, so we're in this.
wow, wow, have I said some bad things about you on the internet?
yeah, I know.
Anvil here is our Discord member, and why am I saying they? He, his pronouns says he, him, and he strongly believe that, I don't know what it is, but he's strongly holding on to his identity as a conservative. And I just don't believe that. Like, having listened to him, having sat and talked with him for a while, he does not seem to me like a typical conservative. And so me and Crypto are going to sit down and be gay around him and also try to make him take a political compass test.
Why?
To prove
Why?
To prove to him that he might not be conservative. Let's see what the political compass says.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see how conservative I turn out to be.
Okay.
I'm gonna be genuine in my answers. I'm gonna try to give very, very as unmotivated answers as I can that I do feel honestly represent my views. So
okay.
Yeah.
And so for your question, Crypto, yes, I'll read them.
So for all of these, there's no neutral or don't know. You have to either agree or strongly agree or disagree or strongly disagree. There's no waffling.
There may be some wording I don't know the meaning of. I don't know if y'all know. Like, taking a test.
You have to interpret it. Yeah, you have to interpret it how you interpret it, right? Now, and then there's a little thing at the top too, right here. So this is, just if you. Well, anyway, I'll let Cora read it. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So test. It says test in big bold. Okay. Just a few propositions to start with concerning no less how you see the country and the world. Okay. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interest of transnational corporations. Do you strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree?
I strongly agree.
Easy. Slam dunk. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations on being on the correct side.
I'd always support my country, whether it was right or wrong.
Strongly disagree.
Fucking commie.
Okay, good job.
No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it.
I disagree.
Why? Why?
Hold on. Do you understand? Okay. Do you understand what the question is?
Well, first of all, you told me to just go with my interpretation. But second of all, I understand it.
All right. What's your interpretation?
It's true that no one, I agree with the first statement, no one chooses their country of birth. I disagree with the entailment, that therefore it's foolish to be proud of your country that you're born in.
So you should be proud of things that are accidents? That you should be proud of
everything in our life is an accident of the circumstances of our birth. It doesn't mean we can't.
So we shouldn't be proud of anything. No, that does.
No,
of getting lucky. Well, that makes no sense.
Well, again, it depends what pride means here. Like, fly the U.S. flag, be happy to be an American. Fly the Mexican flag, be happy to be a Mexican. The things to have a sense of strong community and pride in the groups that you belong to.
I feel lucky. I am happy to be an American in a certain sense. I mean, it could be worse, certainly, but I'm not proud of it. That doesn't. I mean, that's different.
I guess
why would I be proud?
I mean, I guess I don't know. It sounds like we're just disagreeing about the meaning of pride here.
Okay, what's the meaning of pride?
How about this? Because this is it's a too multifaceted. Being proud is multifaceted, right? So, what do you think the negative ends of pride of a country entails?
Well, the worst negative version of pride would be nationalism.
Okay. What's the best?
Right.
The best would be a strong sense of community within your country and civic duty.
That's pride?
I think that pride can help with that. Yeah, it can motivate that.
Sure.
But
So maybe there's a utilitarian reason to be proud, right? Like a functional reason because they get you out of bed in the morning or whatever. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I don't know.
Why do you think it's overall? Well, no, maybe not overall. Maybe not most expressions of pride are not positive expressions of pride when it comes to nationality. But
okay. How about this? Let me attempt to because there is a very clear directionality that these questions are trying to get to. What do you think the directionality of these questions are trying to get you to when they ask about pride of your country?
Now,
what are they actually testing? What do you think
the question is testing? That's not how the test itself told me to take it. So
okay.
I'm telling you.
So I'm guessing then that you would say your notion of pride is less personal, right?
Yeah, it's communal. I would.
You're not taking credit for the country.
No. I'm saying like it's like if a song says "I'm proud to be an American," they're not saying I'm proud to be me because I was lucky enough to be born in America. They're saying this is a great country and I'm proud to live in it.
Oh, that's wrong.
Great.
Okay, so what do you think the question is trying to ask?
It's a bad country with an embarrassing history. Anyway, well, regardless. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Look, he said disagree. That's fine. Let's do disagree.
Well, he said he said strongly disagree.
Or no?
Do you still
I
think it's strong? Well, you disagree with what I said.
No, I said disagree. I didn't say strongly disagree.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races.
Strongly disagree.
You got a chance to give a very funny answer there, but that's all right. Good for you. You took the higher road where I might not have.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Strongly disagree.
Okay. See, that was an interesting one. I thought you might think about that one more, but yeah, good.
I mean, this actually relates to the whole nationality type thing. But okay, fair enough. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified.
That's a tough one.
When would it be justified?
Well, the phrasing of the question. Does it mean international law in any state? International law could be evil, theoretically.
Yeah, I mean, I would take it as the sort of post-war consensus, right? I mean, where we are currently with the UN, right, and the International Criminal Court. That's sort of what I think of when I think of international law. I mean, you could come up with any potential scheme, right? We could talk about the international law of the Terran Empire, whatever, right? But I mean,
if the UN if the UN post World War II is the standard, then I strongly agree. They're awful.
That it is sometimes justified. When would defying the UN to take military action be justified?
And by justified here, I assume we mean morally justified.
Well, this just says sometimes justified. I mean, yeah. I mean, at the stage of nations, right? Well, I don't know. Sure. It's not like Mars. It's not like Mars is there to force us, settlement or whatever.
No, yeah. If it would be justified to, and of course this would never happen, but it would be justified for the United States to invade Israel, despite the fact that the UN would consider that illegal.
Yeah, that is an interesting one. I mean, it's the biggest impediment to that would be the United States right now. So I don't know.
Right.
It's a strange.
It's
a strange one to. That's kind of a head scratcher.
Actually, let me actually correct that. So recently, I believe it was on the 17th, the UN Commission for Genocide has concluded that yes, indeed, Israel has engaged in the commission of genocide against the people of Gaza, and that all the member nation states have a responsibility to take actions to prevent or to basically have responsibility to take actions against any nation that is in the commission of genocide. So invading Israel would be fairly within the line of protecting the international law.
The trouble is, if they did it on the 17th, would we be violating international law if it was done prior? It would still be justified, in my opinion. It isn't the ruling of the
Oh,
UN
to
that
have-
justified.
to have stopped the invasion.
No. So to what I said, that they concluded that Israel had committed genocide on the 17th. Would it then be justified on the 16th or 15th to invade Israel?
Right.
Before
I think the answer is
the commission's conclusion. So the answer is that the conclusion they've drawn is from a 2-year investigation. And during this period, anytime between this period, the commission of genocide has happened. So it would be following international law to have invaded Israel even before the official conclusion has been
I mean, I think if it's
publicized.
I mean, I think if that's the likely outcome, which I mean, in my opinion, was all along, but I know there were other dum-dums who said no. But like,
and in
yeah,
fact,
I mean,
a country like the United States, if they were to take actions against Israel, would only help to speed up the process of the.
I mean, the whole thing about invading is crazy anyway. The United States. I mean, how about first we just stop like arming them, right? And then stop giving them cover in the Security Council. That that alone.
I'm gonna sit firmly here and say agree. I'm gonna keep agree as my answer.
All right.
Agree or strongly agree?
I'll say agree, just because there's some nuance here. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm glad that you're sticking with your guns, because to the audience, it's gonna seem like whenever you don't give an answer that me and Crypto
Yeah, it's 2v1.
that we're trying to persuade you to. No, we challenge your beliefs. That's the way I look at it. He says we challenge them. Okay. Anyway.
No. Yeah. I mean. So here's the dirty secret, right? Having you here is just an opportunity for us to talk.
That's fine. I'm good with that.
That's right.
All right.
You're a fucking tool.
Okay.
So whoa, take it easy.
There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment.
Strongly agree. For instance, this podcast.
You think there's information on this podcast? That's incredible.
Well, I don't know. This is my first experience. The political compass seems informational to a degree.
Yeah,
actually,
I mean,
Crypto. Technically speaking, the recording has about 1 gigabyte of information. So actually, yes, there is information.
This
entertaining.
This question makes me laugh because it's what there used to be a fusion of information and entertainment. Now there's just entertainment. I mean, where's the like what? I would love I would love a fusion of information and entertainment. They're gonna add information to my entertainment. When's that happening?
In a normal world, like the criticisms levied against Jimmy Kimmel would be legitimate. In a world where every other news agency wasn't just making everything up constantly and lying to our face, like in a normal world, the recent criticisms where people were like, "Oh, he said something incorrect, so blatantly and lied to his audience, maybe not on purpose, but got the facts wrong." Oh, we're so upset.
Yeah, I mean, in a normal world, he would just come out the next day and say, "Oh, I fucked up."
Right. Yeah, but also, like, if he got fired, I'd be like, "That seems extreme, whatever." But in a normal world, I'd be like, "Okay, well, the network does what they do." But when we compare them to like Fox or CNBC that just lie 100% of the time, it blows my mind. Yeah, it's just that he's held to that standard. Anyway, okay.
All right, next page. Now the economy. We're talking attitudes here, not the FTSE index. What's a FTSE index?
I have no idea what that is, but they said we're not talking about it, so we don't have to worry what it is.
Financial Times Stock Exchange. Okay, whatever. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality.
Yes, I think I'll agree.
Not strongly agree?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
I think sans propaganda, that's probably true. I think in the world we actually live in, because of the way people have been propagandized.
Actually, that's a great point.
I think if you interpret it in terms of what their real divisions are, I would say strongly agree. I think if you do it in terms of their attitudes, then I would say just agree.
Yeah, so given the current world, I think I would too put agree. But given separate all biases, I would personally put strongly agree. Do you still maintain your answer, Anvil?
Yeah. Yep.
Fair enough. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment.
I'm going to have to pick an answer, but I have no idea.
Well, okay. Let me put it very simply. Would you rather that your money is not worth less over time, or that less people are unemployed?
I do want as many people to be employed as possible, so I suppose I consider that more valuable.
So there is a theory, right, that essentially as unemployment goes down and more people have money, right, the average velocity of money, so the average like number of hands a dollar touches, right, will go up. And because of that, that's going to intrinsically drive up prices because there's just more dollars floating around, right? And so that they sort of present it as this competing set of interests. Now, actually, you kind of have to have, you kind of need both, right? I mean, if inflation goes crazy, that's not great, right? And if unemployment gets high, that's also terrible because then the consumer base gets destroyed. So they're both not awesome. But inflation can be, there are some helpful things about inflation, like it can be good for debtors and stuff like that too.
Yeah. I mean, they're talking
I'm
about
going to say
attitudes.
I'm going to say I agree. I'm going to say I agree.
You think inflation is more important than unemployment?
Oh, sorry, disagree. Excuse me. I got
Okay. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulations.
Strongly agree.
Hey, that's the way.
Look at you.
Is that not a conservative take? What could be more conservative than conserving the environment?
Actually, here's the
Okay,
you're actually,
what are you talking about?
technically speaking.
How? Okay, Ava, you cannot be this. I mean,
I know
pedantic.
that there's a lot of.
This is a Neil deGrasse Tyson take. He went on TV show and he made this argument that conserving the environment should be considered conservative when he debated conservatives. He tried to do this sleight of hand, to kind of trick them into
right. But the thing, but what they're actually conserving is a pyramid of business power, right? That goes all the way to the tippy top where it has captured the government. Has nothing to do whatsoever. It has nothing to do whatsoever with the word conserving. It is hyper focused on that hierarchy. That is what is being conserved. Everything else goes in the machine.
I don't know about this. I think here's the thing, right? Like traditionally, conservatives represent a sort of an agrarian and more natural lifestyle, right? That's
a kind of conservative.
When conservatives pretty much unanimously vote against the health of the environment, I don't know why they do it. They are voting against their personal interests, in my opinion.
Well, but they don't believe that they're violating the environment. They think it's gonna be fine. They want a job that pays more or whatever. They're gonna get a fucking Ski-Doo.
He does have a point. There was a party in history that was very far right and conservative that cared about the environment. Which party in history do you think I'm referring to?
You're talking about the National Socialist Party of Germany, the Third Reich. Everyone knows that.
Did they?
Hitler was.
Yeah.
Hitler's big into environmentalism. I mean, yeah.
I'm not sure that starting a world war is you can be called an environmentalist. I mean, that's a weird. In what sense? What are you playing gardens? I don't know what that means. What? Because he's a vegetarian.
Well, no, in the sense that he considered a destruction of, German natural landscape, the beautiful German nature was antithetical to the party, to party goals.
And I mean, global warming hadn't been discovered yet, so he may have burned less. He may have run the concentration camps on wind power if he had known about. Yeah.
Anyway.
I thought they powered themselves.
Oh Lord!
Sorry, that's terrible. That's a horrible thing to say. We might have to beep.
All right, so
the Nazi party, the Nazi Germany was powered by white power. Anyway, from each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea.
Strongly agree.
You're a good person then.
Damn! Look at this commie.
Is that not a conservative ideal?
That is.
No.
Where do you think that comes
from?
Direct
quote.
Okay, all right.
Tell us what you're looking at. Are you looking at something?
I'm agreeing with you guys. I guess it's a direct quote from something. I don't know what it's a direct quote.
That is a direct quote from Karl Marx.
Oh, and I've read Das Kapital, and I don't even remember that quote.
Well, Das Kapital is like infinitely long.
I don't know if it's in. I don't think that's where it's from.
It might be from the
Marx's statement on the creed. I don't know. Yeah, it was just a slogan
Anyway,
that they
it's great.
popularized.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said something I consider to be relatively conservative, even though I think you guys might disagree. I've always believed in a gift economy, and this sounds like a gift economy.
Yeah, well, that's a gift economy is like a narco-communist idea.
All right, fair enough.
That's like a Burning Man type economy. Either way, the freer the market, the freer the people.
I strongly disagree. So, I mean, how could that be true? I don't even understand the connection between the two things.
Well, because you can buy more shit, like slaves.
Well, the point here isn't what is epistemically true. It's what you value.
Okay. Well, no, that's not true at all. I strongly disagree.
Wow.
It's a
fucking commie.
It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product. Think Nestle.
I think I strongly agree. I just don't know how to interpret the question fully. There's nothing inherently wrong with bottled water, but I think I understand what it's asking. So strongly agree.
So what it's asking what it's doing is it's testing your values of the commodification of basic survival products such as water. But you strongly disagree.
I strongly agree on that. Yeah.
Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold.
Yeah, I strongly agree.
Damn. What do you mean you're a conservative? What are you talking about?
Yeah, but what are you conserving?
Sharing lands between communities.
You know what? To be fair to him, we haven't finished the test. It might end up being conservative.
Maybe. All right, let's keep going.
There's a part of this. Next part might be: do you think women should be barefoot and pregnant? And he might say,
sure,
yeah. Let's see.
He's gonna end up in one of the weird quadrants.
It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society.
Strongly agree. Debt and usury should be illegal.
Wow. Anti-Semitism on the podcast. Can you believe it?
We can't. I think it's kind of anti-Semitic to even acknowledge that, Crypto. We should pretend that we should. I mean, there's a history where.
All.
Well, I mean, okay, so Anvil saying the word usury is a direct reference to some very bad anti-Semitic tropes.
Usury, you understand that that's just interest, right?
Yeah, but
the way you said usury was with
the tone. It was the tone in your voice.
Oh wow! No, it's just that.
So for the audience out there, when Anvil said usury, he was drawing he was doodling a man rubbing his hands, and I don't know why he would do that.
Wow. No, I was. Specifically, right? I understand the concept of interest has value with like trade and stuff, right? Like you give someone an apple tree and like as a gift and whatever, and you're like, hey, in return for that, apple tree, I'd maybe give me 2 apples every time you harvest it or whatever. That's theoretically your interest, your returned interest on the loaned product, right? But beyond that, like professional, like making a living off of interest. Like banks do, that should be banned. That should be illegal. That's disgusting. It's one of the worst things ever invented.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, you can have banks without having people make personal fortunes, right?
Yeah, sure. The idea behind banks isn't bad. Loans are bad. Loans with interest are bad.
In any society, you will have to decide like where capital is going to go. There's got to be some function that outputs an answer to that, right?
Well, I didn't say I wanted a gift economy. Didn't I?
Yeah. No, I understand that.
I don't know, Anvil. The way you said banks with a strong J there was kind of suspicious. We got to stop this. This is protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade.
If I knew what protectionism is, I'd have a strong
tariffs. Tariffs are a form of protectionism, right? The government subsidizing certain sectors of the economy, that's protectionism.
This is a weak sauce question. Of course, it's sometimes required.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would agree.
Yeah, I would say it's a good thing for poor countries to use, and it's a shitty thing for wealthy countries to use.
The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver profit to its shareholders.
I strongly disagree with that.
Wow, commie scum.
Yeah,
I can't. It's so funny that you call yourself a conservative. This is going to be adorable at the end. All right, let's keep going.
The rich are too highly taxed.
I might think if they were taxed at all, I might answer differently to this question, but since they're not, I strongly disagree.
Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care.
Actually, they should have. I strongly disagree. They should have. The more money you have, the worse your medical care should be.
Yeah.
Strongly disagree.
They actually. So wealthier people live on average 10 years longer than middle class and poor people, meaning they get to have literally more life than everyone else. Governments should penalize business that mislead the public.
Is there any human who doesn't agree with this? Of course they should. Strongly agree.
Yeah.
Yes. The answer is yes, conservatives. But since you're not a conservative, you wouldn't think.
Yeah. So there are people who will identify as "quote unquote" anarcho-capitalists who will say no, that's for ratings agencies and stuff. Like, just privatize all of it. Yeah, there are people that say that. Some of these questions are going to be extreme like that, and that's on purpose, right? Because the center of that question, somebody who even agrees like a little bit, you get a bead on where they are, and it's way out in a corner somewhere, right? So that's kind of why it's like that. There's several questions that will wind up hitting that. It'll be like, yeah, isn't this obvious? And it's like, well, no, but I mean, only for a small subset of internet weirdos.
A genuine free market requires restriction on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies.
Yeah, if your goal is a free market, you can't have a free market if you have monopolies just gobble. I strongly agree with that. Yeah.
Again, there are weirdo internet anarcho-capitalists who would say no. Anarcho is so annoying.
Value.
So now we get to your personal social values. This is the interesting part here. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal.
I'll disagree. I disagree with that.
Do you
There's
think
definitely cases where it should be illegal, but always it's just way too broad.
Which cases should abortion be illegal?
When the fetus is developed to the point where it likely has some form of sentience.
So, like, when it's born?
No, I think it's probably developing sentience. I think they say it's around 25 to 26 weeks usually, is what I think the consensus is. Last I looked, anyway.
I don't think there's a real scientific consensus.
No, they develop their brain, but there've been no test. Actually, let's see here.
Yeah, let's see what ChatGPT says. Yeah, there is no scientific consensus.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me to hear there's no scientific consensus, that's for sure. But I would argue it doesn't make a lot of sense just logically to say that somehow passing through the birth canal is what awakens a human into sentience.
They literally wake it up.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't kill people who are...
Actually, there's a very interesting... There's a very interesting intersection here because it says that they have developed the necessary brain structure for pain receptors until 24 to 25 weeks. However, between 22 to 24 weeks, the fetus can survive outside the womb. So I guess that's
okay.
That to me would be a cutoff for when we should scrap the baby completely. Is when it can survive outside the womb.
I'm yucking it up, but I mean, it would be very weird to like abort a baby like the day before it's born. I'm not sure if birth is like,
but that's always illegal. The thing is, it's too broad.
The thing is, it's pointless to. I don't think there should be a legal standard for that, because like there should be a medical standard for that, right? Because the cases where where that sort of thing would actually be happening, those are like horror show cases, right? Like those are like harlequin babies and stuff. You know, it's. But
the thing is, there are legal standards set for medicine, and I think that's okay. I mean, they're broad, right? Like we would say, like it's wrong for a doctor to make unethical decisions, right? Not just wrong, but illegal. Like if a doctor amputates your leg.
If a doctor is subject to a medical ethics board that is not under pressure from, like the government to come to some religious conclusion about when life begins or whatever, then I have more acceptable of those constraints rather than the government just coming in and saying, well, this is we're just going to set a blanket like date, right? And no matter what, even in a bunch of really rare but awful cases, we still won't let you abort, right? Like that probably should be up to the
Well,
doctor.
but we don't have to. That's never been a requirement. There's never been some kind of rule in the United States or anywhere that says if you make a law, it has to be some kind of hard line limit with no caveats or exceptions, right? Like you could definitely make a more complex.
Yeah, but I'm saying the people to make that decision should not be legislators, right? It should be doctors.
I'm fine with legislating the limits of what doctors. I'm fine with saying like doctors can't just. If a group of doctors decide that what's best medically for somebody is obviously unethical, I'm okay with the government limiting their ability to do that obviously unethical thing.
But they're saying that it is ethical, right?
Yeah, just because I'm sorry, doctors are not our kings, right? They don't get to decide people's life and death,
Right, but
you
understand, you are talking about coming in between a doctor who, and not just a doctor, but a doctor who is putting their license on the line against a panel of, not just one rando doctor, right? You're talking about interdicting. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about interdicting between that doctor and their patient, right? Like by force, because necessarily that's going to involve like.
Well, I disagree. All authority should be questioned.
Strongly disagree.
Oh boy, here we go.
So when not even question. When a cop beats you, you shouldn't go, "Why, sir?"
That's what strongly disagree. Authority. The question doesn't say doesn't say that.
Well,
the question
it also
doesn't
say all, and you say strongly disagree. So you're putting a no with a strongly disagree.
So it doesn't say reject it. It just says question. So you think there's some authorities that shouldn't even be questioned. They shouldn't be considered about whether or not they're legitimate.
I don't think that's the spirit of this question. That's not my interpretation of this question.
It says all authorities should be questioned. It doesn't say they should all be rejected. A question can go more than one way, right?
Can I ask you something? Do you think Donald Trump is making bad choices?
Yes.
So you've already failed your own standard.
What? The question doesn't say all authority must be followed.
Right. Nor does it say it must all be rejected. Right.
Okay. Also, I'll change to disagree instead of strongly disagree.
Okay. All right.
Can we what do you think? Let's think about that, because to me this is like insanity. This is insanity. Like it baffles the mind that the authority shouldn't be questioned. If I mean, authority needs to be questioned, must be questioned, in order to even have authority.
No, I disagree. There's certain hierarchies. First is familial hierarchies, right? Parents are in charge of children. The children shouldn't question their parents, for the most part.
Why shouldn't they question their parents?
We need those social hierarchies to keep our societies functioning.
Okay.
Teachers shouldn't be questioned in school.
So okay. Well, teachers should be questioned in school, but not in the way that you mean. Anyway,
yeah.
But okay, right. So just now, I put to you two questions about authority, right? You said familial authority should be enforced, and I said why?
Because it's good for society.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I agree with you, yeah, and I've given examples where I've thought it's important that parents need to have some level of, like, especially little kids, right? You have to. Who knows where the fuck they'll toddle off to, right? Like, yeah, for sure, right? And of course, that's something that's going to decline, as they get older or whatever. But I did just question, that state of authority. The fact that I would say, sure, yeah, I agree. That's not me not questioning it.
I think you're not. I don't think you're understanding the question correctly. I don't think the question implies that.
Okay. I think you have an interpretation of what questioned means, because you didn't take offense when I asked you why, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
All right. I think.
Would you take offense if your child asked you why?
Are we trying to move me left? Is that the point of going down this?
No, I'm just
this question.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We can go.
The point of Crypto's line of questioning is that he's not completely buying that you believe this completely. That's the problem.
Well,
I
look,
don't
we can
think
we can
I
we
don't
can
think that
go
you've
we can go down this we can terminate this with one simple thing. There is an actual authority that I think, even in the broadest sense that you're talking about, shouldn't be questioned. So so my answer remains regardless.
Oh well, which authority is that?
I mean, it's God.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, God.
okay, but okay,
So that's one.
right?
That's one more.
Sure, okay, I get what you're saying, right? But I mean, if I asked you why, if I were to interrogate that claim, right?
Well, I don't. Again, I mean, shouldn't I think is the actual word here, not question. That we're getting a difference of opinion on here.
Yeah.
I'm more or less saying shouldn't isn't implying that any deviation from the injunction is evil. I think that shouldn't is just saying what's the best course of action here.
The best course of action. So you think the best course of action is not to interrogate certain forms of authority?
Yeah, if I said you shouldn't run out into the road, and you came up with a hypothetical where you could, or it would be the right thing to do, I would still understand my statement that general you shouldn't run out into the road to be intended and still valid and true.
But do you think in general most authorities should not be questioned?
That's a
Most
tough one.
forms of
I don't know how to I don't know how to count them.
Sure.
Probably,
I mean,
yeah.
In general, do you feel that society is generally more free than that? I mean, what's your? I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Are people free to question authority? And sorry.
Sure, of course, yeah. I mean, yes. Shouldn't isn't saying that there should be an imposition on people's ability to do the opposite. But like even to the degree, I think the most moral thing to do, for instance, like, and I know you guys will strongly disagree with this, but let's say a tyrannical government was like arresting you for thought crime, right? There's a lot of ways you can respond to that, and I think very few ways are going to be bad, right? Because fighting back is fine and justified for sure. But the most moral person who's doing all of the perfectly right things would give themselves over to the punishment of that government.
Why?
Because I think that's the example that God set.
Okay. But I mean, what good is supposed to come of that? I don't understand what anyone
Honestly,
gets out of
if it's part of his faith, I'm not even gonna get into that. Like, if that's his part of his religion, then I mean it's useless to.
Regardless, I mean, suffice to say, I disagree with the statement at a fundamental
All right,
level.
Fair enough. I think we got stuck on this one for a while. Okay. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
This question is going to undermine everything I just said.
You're free to
This
go
is a
back
cult-
and change your answers.
No, I'm just gonna stand in my double standard. Despite this being from a quote from the Bible, I strongly disagree.
sick.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, having a double standard, I think you might be a conservative.
Everything worked out great.
Yeah.
Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis.
I disagree with that. I have some mixed feelings, but I disagree generally.
So they're basically all asking, are the only organizations or the only work or the only type of utility in society that's worth it is whatever can generate money. That's basically what they're asking. Like, do you care only about what could generate money, or do you care about like something else, perhaps like maybe happiness, joy, satisfaction of their community rather than whatever generates money?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, when we make them public works, we end up getting stuff like Texas libraries suck, right? I'd rather not pay for them at this point.
That's because you live in Texas where they don't pay for them.
Yeah,
You know
but
where
what
I
I'm
grew
saying
up?
is
You know where I grew up? Washington, D.C. You ever been to the mall? They got some
Yeah,
pretty
it's
sick
great.
museums. You ever been to the Smithsonian? You know what
I
going to
have, yeah.
museums does for children?
Make their brains big.
Yeah, I mean, it makes them interested in the world, right? Yeah.
I love museums.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but I have a level of distrust of the government's ability to allocate funds, is what I'm saying. So
Sure.
I sympathize.
Well,
1 second. You're saying that you're questioning the government's authority in budgeting?
hey, the government's not God, all right? I mean, that's
Yeah. All right.
Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory.
What does compulsory mean?
obligatory.
Oh, yeah, I strongly disagree.
Why are they putting a negative? Now, wait, hold on. How many negatives are? Schools should not make classrooms attendance compulsory. Strongly disagree. So they should make them compulsory.
He should
Yeah,
make
he's
it
saying
compulsory.
kids. He's saying kids should be required to go to school.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, personally, I would completely change the way schools are run in terms of pedagogy and how grouping happens by age and stuff. All of that fucks everything out.
Yeah, if we could separate
But-
them out by race, I think that would be.
Jesus. Holy fuckamoly.
We're gonna have to cut that part out.
Damn, you are conservative.
Can you clarify?
Oh,
Amble, you gotta clarify.
Jesus.
You gotta clarify. You gotta
Oh,
clarify.
I'm only joking.
gotta-
I'm only joking. I don't want to do that. That's ridiculous. I'm a strong
fair enough.
supporter of integrated school system.
Yeah, we know
All right,
Amble.
all
He's
right.
not a racist.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just a little racial horseplay. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind.
I strongly disagree with that. What? Who wrote that?
I'm glad that this the next question gave you an opportunity to clear your name on what your previous statement was.
I told you there were some zingers in here, right? I mean, imagine the sort of
Yeah.
people that this captures who answer the other way. Like that tells you a lot about that person. You get a ton of information.
Yeah,
from that
yeah.
question.
Fair enough.
Okay. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children.
Strongly disagree with that.
Thank God. Jesus. I was kind of nervous
I
where
t-
you
I
would.
turned out fine.
I was spanked, and I did
Sure you
not
did.
turn out.
It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents.
Interesting question. Yeah, I'll say I agree with that.
Okay. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I strongly agree, but I agree.
Oh boy. Why not? Why? What's the why? What do you care? It's
I
the,
guess
it's
minors
the-
shouldn't
It
have
is
weed.
the lightest drug. I mean, you know that, right? Compared to alcohol, it's not
Yeah.
even close.
No, that's what Corvo nailed it on the head. I'm just worried about minors using marijuana.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Okay. So take that aside. Take that aside. Because that
For-
is
if-
an obvious
if this
regulation
question
we
is
can all
only
agree on.
asking- If this question is only asking for adult persons, then no, there should be no criminal association with the use
But
of
why would you
marijuana.
even make it criminal for children? You should confiscate it for children. They're children. Why are they making them criminals?
Well, I mean, I guess it
Make
depends
them
what you mean by
make them put on a striped shirt and hit a rock with a pickaxe. Get in there, kids.
Yeah, should-
but it's
should we-
delinquency. It's about the it's the same reason why like buying alcohol or whatever as a kid comes with consequences. It's not because we want the kid life ruined. But there's such a thing as delinquency, right? Someone who's breaking the rules constantly, who isn't living their life according to the
Not the
standards of
rules.
society.
Is it possible to hold them accountable or hold them to some responsibility without marking them as criminal?
Certainly, it's possible. I guess this depends on what we mean by criminal. Like, community service is a great way to like have children both be held responsible and benefit from the community and give benefit
What do you
back.
think criminal means? Criminal is a very loaded legal term.
I guess I don't know exactly how it's being used here.
Okay, how do
I
you
certainly don't
usually
wanna
how do you usually use the word criminal?
Someone who's convicted of a crime.
Yeah, I mean it's sort of
Right.
it's sort of
Should we
circular in that way.
convict kids of crimes for?
So,
If they
so
commit a
they're
crime,
violating the law, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
the law is don't dispense to children, right? I mean, who
That's a much
violated the
more
law there?
important- Yeah, that's a much more important law than the actual one being broken by the child.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, saying, hey, don't be a kid who consumes this, or else it's
No,
it's gonna
but
go on
there's
your
a-
record or whatever.
there's a secondary like situation, which is like, say you can't find the person who dispensed it. You don't want to be like, well, can't find the person who dispensed it. Carry on smoking marijuana, child.
How about this? Let
Oh.
me try to help you out. Let me reframe.
No, that's
the
what
question.
I was saying. Just confiscate it for children. That's what I said originally. Just take it away. Take it away, and then you take them home to their parents, and you say, I caught this young mister smoking weed in the park. You should give him a
Isn't that what
talking
most-
to.
Cops do when they find a child smoking marijuana.
Well,
I mean,
Well, but yeah, okay. So now you are saying let's leave it to officer discretion. And I'm saying why?
well, I
What
don't
do we
trust
gain?
police officer discretion very much. But
Yeah, I mean, what do we gain by like we know how that works out, right? I mean, guess who gets to go home and who doesn't?
Yeah. which kids of which color gets in
Yeah,
trouble.
I mean, you know, I just don't see, especially when it comes to marijuana. It's like it's such a light. I mean,
you've convinced me. You can change it to strongly agree.
All right, thank
Perfect.
you. I appreciate you giving me at least 1 point on one of these.
The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generations to find jobs.
I strongly disagree with that.
Nice, good. No, disagree.
I strongly disagree.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
I mean, they're children, for God's sake. They shouldn't be like trained in labor training camps. That's what's ridiculous.
Well, you know, there are people who think that's why you educate. It's an investment, and you know you got to get a return on that in society.
Wasn't it? There was a contrast between Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Tim Walz signing two very, very different bills. Tim Walz signed a bill for feeding children food at school, while Sarah Huckabee Sanders signed a bill for allowing minors to work, basically. And the look of the kids between the two
signing ceremonies, it is pretty brutal.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders signed a bill legalizing child labor. Tim Walz, after he signed a bill providing free breakfast and lunch to Minnesota students. Look at the difference. Look at these poor kids, how miserable they look. Look at this. Look at her. Meanwhile, look at the fun and joy and humanity at the bottom here. What a beautiful sight.
I also noticed a lack of racially diverse children in the top one.
Yeah, I see all white children, all wearing suits with ties. These are so funny. They cannot be. I mean, this is like a caricature. This is. Someone would do this as a joke, except they did it for real. The one kid in the back is fat. His little gut is this. Thinking out with the tile sideways like a manager drunk at lunch.
Yeah, like a middle management guy who hates going back to his wife.
It's just like so Republican. He's like the most Republican little kid. He's on his second divorce.
And you know, on the bottom here, we got a diverse set of kids. They're dressed like kids. They're happy. They're laughing. It's just joy. Oh god!
They're dressed like normal children. I love that, and it looks like a diverse set of educators in the background being very excited about their kids being able to have food, which is a good thing to be excited about as an educator.
Because it makes teaching easier.
Because they all get food,
not growling.
Yeah, they all get 2 meals a day, right, minimum, and no one is stigmatized with having to be on a special program and a weird card that they have to show or whatever instead of pulling up cash every day. Right, and Republicans don't care about stigmatization because they like bullying because they're just dickheads. I mean, that's why they're Republicans. That's how it starts. It's passed down from parents to children. Dickheads having dickheads.
Okay. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce.
Strongly disagree.
Thank fuck. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline.
This question is worded weirdly. I strongly disagree with my interpretation of the question, but it is important for children to learn to accept discipline.
Okay.
But so certainly not the most.
Okay.
Not even close.
Yeah. I will probably
what's the most important thing for children to learn?
We have to get down that pathway.
Yeah, actually, let's focus on the questions. We've ran for an hour. We have to keep going.
Oh shit! All right, yeah. We gotta speed through these. Okay.
So which one is it?
Strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree.
Yeah, strongly disagree.
All right.
Okay, good. There are no savage and civilized peoples. There are only different cultures.
Disagree.
What? Hold on. Do you understand
I know.
So which ones are savage and which ones are civilized?
Again, the question is
savages, barely even human.
The question is I think is malformed. Like, I don't know of a culture that exists today that I would call objectively savage. We're all pretty bad.
No, you're missing the question. Hold on. Stop. No. It's not talking about culture. It's talking about peoples.
It clearly isn't. It has the word culture in it.
No. The first thing is peoples. It says there are no savage and civilized peoples, and then it says there are only different cultures.
Yes.
But
when you disagree, you're
the premise.
Let me help you out. When you disagree, you're saying that some people are just savages, doesn't matter what their culture is.
Yeah, it's like intrinsic.
I cannot answer this question. It cannot use the word. It cannot make a comparison. and in one use the word people, and then in the opposite use the word cultures, and then you tell me it means one and not the other. What does the question mean? If it's making a comparison, which does
I'll
it
help you
mean?
out. Do you think people are inherently savage, or do you think that cultures is what can turn people towards poor
The
behavior?
problem is that that's not how the question actually works. If I say I agree,
I'm telling you what the question
I'm
means.
agreeing. No, you're not. You're misinterpreting the question, because again, the question has two
I promise
parts.
you I'm not.
Okay, hold on.
If I agree, right, then I'm disagreeing with the first part, and I'm agreeing with the second part, which talks about cultures. So I don't know how to answer this question, because if you're telling me that it's not making a comparison between peoples and cultures, it's not saying those are the same thing, then I can't, in one answer, disagree with the first part, which you're saying is a separate question to the second part, and then agree with the second part in one answer. If they're two separate questions, there's two separate answers.
So I don't know what you just said. I don't understand that. I think it's just a question about essentialism, right? About whether it is intrinsic to people or whether it's imprinted upon them from the outside, right? Behaviors we might consider savage.
I mean, let's just be blunt. Do you think black people are inherently more violent?
No.
Then you how much do you think that? Do you strongly not think that? Or do you just, kind of not think that?
Look, I've interpreted the question. I've answered the question.
All right.
Anvil, you're misinterpreting.
It's fine.
the
It's
question.
fine. Whatever. It's in the middle anyway. It's not as strongly. It won't change the numbers too badly. Let's go to the next one.
Okay. All right. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support.
Fuck. Again, I'm very confused by the question. Expect or receive? It would be immoral. So if it's a should question, it would be immoral for them to expect society's support.
So
But they should
not.
still receive it. They should not, but they should still receive it. That's,
it says expect. I mean, I think the way you interpret it makes sense, right?
okay. Then I would say I agree. Strongly agree.
When you're troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things.
Yeah, I strongly agree with that.
Okay. That's an interesting one.
First-generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country.
That's sometimes true. It depends on the country and where they come from. I disagree, but not strongly.
All right. What's good for the most successful corporation is always ultimately good for all of us.
Strongly disagree.
No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding.
Strongly disagree.
Yeah, there was a recent case with Trump cutting the funding for NPR. He completely cut it.
Yeah.
Jesus. And how you see the wider society? Oh, it continues for last month.
Yeah, but who remembers that shit? Why? What a terrible.
Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism.
Strongly agree.
A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the argument that delays progress in a democratic political system.
Strongly disagree.
Good. I mean, this is a weirdly formulated question. I don't want to get into it. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried.
Strongly disagree.
The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes.
Strongly disagree.
Good, very good. Actually, very Christian of you. Wait, did it believe? I don't know. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded.
I might agree with the spirit of this question, but the way that they phrased it, like having people below and commanding, I'll disagree with this.
Yeah.
All right.
Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all.
I strongly disagree. Who would try to dictate what is art?
Morons do all the time. What are you talking about?
Morons are Nazis.
That's the internet. Yeah, I mean,
I guess so, yeah.
Nazis were very strongly against abstract art because it doesn't depict anything material, real. They consider it a form of harmful art because it encouraged too much free thinking. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation.
Strongly disagree.
Good. It's a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals.
I mean, I have to agree because that's just factually true.
But the process should be rehabilitation, even if rehabilitation fails. I agree. That
Maybe
some
I
people
don't know.
might
Maybe
just
I'm misunderstanding. Yeah, maybe I'm misunderstanding the question. If
there is the word. There's the word
try.
try.
That's true. Okay, then I disagree.
the business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist.
I strongly disagree. I hope the business person and the manufacturer die.
Damn. Well, okay then.
Okay,
Of course, I really don't want them to die. No, of course, I value all life. That's a joke. But they're certainly not more important than the people who actually produce the valuable things.
mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers.
Oh, fuck. Oh, boy. I agree.
You son of... Why do you agree that that's their first duty? What about fathers?
What about them?
What is their first duty?
Protecting and providing for their families.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna leave you. You don't have any commentary, do you?
I mean, this is some weird Bronze Age nonsense. There's no fixing this mind virus. I don't know what to. No, I have nothing to say.
Almost all politicians promise economic growth, but we should heed the warning of climate science that growth is detrimental to our efforts to curb global warming.
Strongly agree.
Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. I know it. I know what you're
I agree. I agree.
Not strongly? Not strongly?
Not strongly. No.
Not every establishment is worth making peace
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
All right.
Now,
Fair enough.
Now, if you lived in Nazi Germany, would it be mature to make peace with this Nazi establishment?
In some cases, probably.
Oh boy. All right.
I'm going to cut that out.
Is the
for
next
your sake.
button not working?
Astrology accurately explains many things.
Yeah, I agree.
Astrology?
Yeah.
Aren't you a
Like
Christian?
star signs. Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that a major sin in Christianity?
No, the Bible has lots of astrology in it.
Hold on. Is astrology
He has to ask ChatGPT.
a sin in Christianity? Yes, astrology is considered a sin in Christianity because it's a form of divination and a reliance on non-godly sources for guidance, which the Bible forbids.
I would actually say it doesn't. I mean, the Bible forbids certain forms of divination, true. However, it doesn't forbid star divination. I would argue that's a misunderstanding.
Okay, I have to say something here. It accurately explains many things. Astrology.
Yeah.
You're trolling us. This is you trolling.
No, I believe in astrology. Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I mean,
do you think accurately or generally? Like it can make generalities that fit, larger sample of the population.
You think our fates are decided by the stars?
To some degree, yeah. Yeah.
Well, the carbon in our bones is made within
no,
stars.
No, that's not what I'm
even
talking about. I want to be totally clear here so there's no confusion. I am talking about a mystical, supernatural connection to the alignment of the stars. I just want to, so there's no confusion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a mystical connection. I mean, other than I guess God as the creator of those stars or whatever. But you'd think the stars, in particular, their configuration and the movements of the planets and stuff, that those are determinative of some way of outcomes in people's lives.
Yeah, and I think that's specifically because, they were given to us as signs by God. God made them as signs so that we could make predictions and understand people.
Oh, okay. Got it.
All right. Well,
all right.
That's actually, let's move on to the next one.
No, that's fine. I mean, you answered my question. I really thought you were trolling. I thought you were just joking. I never thought astrology would be a thing that would come out of your mouth. But all right, cool.
You cannot be moral without being religious.
Strongly disagree. Of course you can.
Charity is better than social security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged.
I think statistically that's just untrue. So I think I have to strongly disagree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a question of what you mean by better. I mean, it's certainly better for some people's pocketbooks, but in terms of outcomes, obviously.
Some people are naturally unlucky.
Strongly disagree.
What? You just said people's fates are decided by the stars. What?
Not that their fate is decided by the stars. Accurately reflect their attitudes, and you can divine, things that might happen to them. But their choices ultimately are what promote those outcomes.
Do you think
they have choices? They have choices, but you can read the outcomes in the stars.
Yeah, I don't see a conflict between being able to see to some degree what's coming and having choice. Yeah, I don't see.
Well,
my brain hurts.
Well, I mean, okay, okay. Anyway, let's go to the next question.
It is important that my child's school instills religious values.
For me, yeah, I would say I strongly agree.
Wow.
Fair enough.
All right.
Finally, a look at sex. Okay. Sex
Gross.
outside marriage is usually fuck you. Sex outside marriage is usually immoral.
Yeah, I would say I agree with that.
Wow. Who's it hurting? God.
Yeah,
Who's their business?
Yeah, well, who's been hurt?
The two individuals participating in it are hurting their spirits.
Oh my God.
Okay. You know what? Let's leave it.
All right,
at that.
anyway.
That's it. You owned us with facts and logic. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption.
Now this one's a real
Strongly
tough one because they hit you with a double negative. Not be excluded.
I strongly agree.
The way you just-
Yeah.
So they should
I
be
hate the way they
included.
formulated the
They should be
questions.
included in the possibility of child adoption. Okay.
Yes. Absolutely. Of course.
Strongly agree. Okay.
Well, I strongly agree. I would be a monster for saying some child should stay in the foster system just because they have feelings about gay people.
Well, okay. You have feelings about gay people?
No, I don't. I'm saying if somebody did, they would be a
If they
monster
did,
for.
yes.
Okay. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be illegal for the adult population.
Fuck. Pornography as it is as an industry now, or do they just mean?
I mean, it says consenting adults. To what degree the current porn industry is actually consenting? I mean,
Yeah, it does say consent. Oh, depicting. I'm sorry. I misunderstood it. I thought it was saying like for consenting. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I agree. Strongly agree.
Oh, look at you. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state.
Strongly agree.
yeah, and again, and this is one where you could get weirdly semantic, but it is about sex. They said that at the top. They don't mean like building a bomb in your,
Yeah.
your bedroom or something.
No one can feel naturally homosexual.
This is a weird question. No one can. Yeah, strongly disagree.
These days, openness about sex has gone too far.
I agree.
Yeah, I kind of.
Alright,
I
let's
figured
see.
you would on that one. Whatever.
Let's see. Where are you? Where would we? Whatever. China. Oh,
All right.
look.
Oh,
All right.
way left. What the hell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Economically, you're super left. I mean, you're a little socially conservative, although I mean, way more libertine than most Americans.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't expect that. Okay.
So-
yeah, this is why
You're
we
not
laugh at you when
conservative.
you're like, "Oh, I'm a conservative." It's like, okay, show him the other charts of where they've placed historical figures, just to get an idea of who you're close to. No, there's let's keep going.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Or the other one, also the. So this is where they've placed
Who the heck is Hawkins?
a green candidate. Maybe I don't know. I don't know
I don't
who
know, Stephen
Jorgensen
Hawking.
is.
Biden was that far right?
That's
Yes.
what they've come up with. I mean, it's not really wrong, but okay, yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh my God! No major
So-
politician even comes close to where.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
not even a little bit.
Would you say-
Bernie Sanders is way more right wing than you. Like way
You're further
way
to the
more.
left. Okay, so Anvil, I know it's important for your personal identity, like your performative identity, to call yourself conservative. But do you still call yourself conservative?
I guess I won't anymore, based on this.
hey, we got him.
Took us some time. We got it.
All right.
Welcome to the party, comrade.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say. So now that it's not conservative, what liberal? I mean, you're just downgrading by one. Is that what we're moving to? Are you gonna be a Clintonite?
I mean, I'm not a liberal by any means. For
Yeah.
sure.
No, I mean, obviously not. No, obviously not. You're a hardcore leftist. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I know you have your weird religious
no.
beliefs or whatever that like get slip in there, but you are ultra left wing.
All right, I guess I'll call myself a communitarian. There you go.
Are there? Yeah. No, we're gonna have to. So we're gonna have to do round 2 and have you take a left values quiz now, because if you're that far left, we're gonna have to. Yeah, we're gonna have to split and figure out like which weird subset you fall into, because there's definitely a right answer to that. We'll get you figured out. But yeah, this is good. We've finally gotten to the truth. We can stop talking about you being a conservative or even a liberal. Yeah,
So
you
really, the
economically
Labour
you're to the
Party-
left. You are economically left of the Green Party and the Labor Party.
Where do you guys
It's
fall?
in the corner, in the bottom left corner.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, just no intrinsic respect. I mean, have some self-respect. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Baffling to me that almost all U.S. politicians fall into the top right corner. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, of course. I mean, they all serve business interests, right? I mean, they're completely captured.
Are we sure this is accurate? Castro
Why would
and
there be
Pete
Obama?
Buttigieg?
Castro does not mean the former leader of Cuba.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
that's not for sure. that's some that's some random like Republican. Joaquin Castro. Yeah. Well, no, we'll find out. We're gonna have you come back. We'll do another one of these soon. This was fun. We got to
I'm excited.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the podcast.
I guess we'll wrap it up there. Thanks everyone.
And thank you everyone
Have a good
for
night,
listening.
guys.
I fucked everyone's mothers.
More.
Take care, everybody.